My name is John Wallace Dant. I go by Wally, and I am from Gethsemane, Kentucky. This is where I live currently. Log Still Distillery is a company that I have down there, and our family's been from that area about 200 or so years. Reason I became, or I guess I was nominated to be a colonel, was because of all my community work and activism that we have down there in New Haven, and just trying to create an atmosphere of community, trying to build that community, which in essence is what I think all of us colonels there is really trying to build community. You can see it through many activations that the colonels do throughout the area and throughout the state, and just proud to be one and kind of follow in the footsteps of my father and my grandfather, who were both colonels. So my family has been in Kentucky, one of the early settlers in that part of the central Kentucky to late 1700s. And so a number of them became well known for bourbon making, bourbon industry, and starting their own brands back in the 1800s, early 1800s. And my family continued in that long vein of bourbon making for, almost now 200 years or so. So, they developed, quite a number of different brands there. Our distillery, the property that we're on today, is and was established as a distillery in the 1860s. So we're DSP number 47. And my great-great uncle and my great-grandfather owned it pre-prohibition, post-prohibition. So my grandfather built a house on that property. My dad grew up running around the distillery property himself, and I did as well as a grandkid. Of course, the distillery is, we do bourbons out there, certainly. But what we tried to do really is build this sense of place for people to come to. Not necessarily always about bourbon. That's why we've got an amphitheater out there where we bring live music and entertainment to. But those, and we have an event conference center where people can start their lives together, actually get married out there. Or we do it for corporations that come out and, hold an annual retreat, for instance. Or, we've got a couple that's celebrating an anniversary out there in one of our bed and breakfasts. It's really to try to create this sense of place that, will make a difference in how they feel about themselves, how they feel about their life. And if we can do that in our place, you create this great memory that will last. And so our event conference center is called The Legacy. And so if you can begin to, like, for instance, you get married there, you're creating your legacy for the rest of your life. And so, it's those type of things that we try to do out at Log Still, that it isn't just, about, selling a bottle of bourbon. It's really about, making a great experience for yourself and, coming back again. First of all, I know my money's going into a good cause, right? And, when you have an opportunity to give to a number of different charities, one of the things that I always do is, how do they spend their money and where do they spend it? Is it spent wisely? And it's not on some big overhead and administrative expense, which, there's some charitable organizations that are built that way. And, in my mind, I see what you do in the local communities, and the cool aspect that I know my money is going towards, right, is going towards local community projects. And for me, that makes the difference. It's not like you're taking money and then deploying it elsewhere, deploying it in other states. And I know I see plenty of work, right? I see service at work. And, so when you're out there considering giving to the Kentucky Colonels, what I'd ask everybody to do, right, is be thoughtful about your giving. There's opportunities, I'm sure, to direct as you want to direct. But at the end of the day, you know, you all are the ones that are looking at what the needs are, what's being asked of you all. And, if you just look at the good works that we do, you can see a cause and effect. And I think that's the biggest thing, is that there's a cause, there's a reaction, and then there's positive and moving forward. And I think when you can give money towards those things, then that's money well spent. The only parting words I've got are, one, continue to serve our fellow Kentuckians here, or quite frankly, wherever you are. Make them feel like they're a part of Kentucky is what I would tell you, certainly. And for those that are here and aspire to be a Kentucky Colonel because of what they hear from me or what they hear from the other colonels, that goal is not too hard to reach. We've got a great community out there. We've got a great organization that stands for something. I think that's really probably the coolest thing that the Kentucky Colonel is really all about. It's meaningful. It's just not a plaque on the wall. It's about providing service to others, and that's the beautiful thing about being a Kentucky Colonel.